Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Now, you probably know me from such works as The Office and Extras, Stephen being my co-writer and co-director on those things. For those people who are not so aware of Karl Pilkington, he was our producer, sort of given to us when we first started on XFM, and you're thinking, well, why are we doing a podcast? It's because I like to be in a room with Karl Pilkington. You know, like some people go and help sort of chimps.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they go to the jungles and things.
And help out little sort of endangered
Diane
species.
Fossey or whatever.
Exactly.
You're very much the Diane Fossey of the Manchester scene.
Of the little bald mank world. And Karl Pilkington is an ongoing experiment for me, because I've seen him blossom from an idiot into an imbecile. And I want to see it through. Look at the way he's looking at us. Look at that. He's got a perfectly round head. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. Karl, what do you think about all this?
It's just, I mean, we are living in that sort of era now, aren't we? That you need to be able to listen to stuff on demand when you want it and stuff.
I know you're not a fan of the iPod in general, are you? Or any of the MP3 things? You're concerned?
I'm warming to it, but
this is what's amazing about Karl. Even though he's talking about things like MP3 players, computers, iPods, he sounds like he was found in a glacier and thawed out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sort of taught to speak.
We're a couple of high school guys who found him, and we're trying to ingratiate him in the gang, trying to pass him off as someone from the modern day.
No. But my thing with iPods is, now, do we need them? Do you know what I mean? We're living in that era now where we have invented most of the stuff that we need, and now we're just messing about.
They said that in 1900. Someone actually said everything that's to be invented has already been invented. They said that in 1900, and how wrong were they?
No, but what came out? At what point? What was invented in that year where they went, right, that's it now?
The 20th century. Think what happened in the 20th century.
Go on.
Well, planes.
Yeah, but is that a good thing? Planes and that. Do you need a plane, really? Wouldn't it have been better if we all stuck where we should be instead of travelling about? War. Well, look, war's happening, isn't it? Because everyone's saying, well, now we can fly, we'll go over there.
So there were no wars prior to the invention of the aeroplane?
Not like there is today.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, the world's got smaller, hasn't it? Everyone's saying that, right?
Yeah.
The way I was saying to you the other day, we now go to places where we shouldn't go. People go on holiday to places where you've got to have an injection before you go there.
Yeah.
Forget it then. That's a warning. Don't go there.
I'm with you on that. I don't want to enter a country where I have to have an injection to stop me from dying while I'm in that country.
Right,
I totally agree with you on that.
So what happened is, they invented the plane, and it's like, oh, let's go on holiday. And then they go, oh, I die now. Oh, well, you've got to invent something. Let's invent an injection. And then it's like, right, well, what else do we need to go to that place? There's a lot of faffing. So what I'm saying is... Is
that a place? A lot of faffing?
What I'm saying is, Steve's travelled more than I have. You've been to, like, dangerous places.
I've been to places where you need injections, yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's fascinating, isn't it? Don't you not believe in that idea of travel broadens the mind? It makes you experience other ways of life, other ways of thinking. It just enriches you as a human being. That's the whole reason people go travelling.
But since the invention of the telly, you don't have to go that far to see it.
You're absolutely right.
So there you go then. The telly was the 20th century, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So where would you stop then? You'd stop making stuff now? Stop inventing stuff right now?
If we're going to invent something, right, forget, like, the traditional way of people having kids, right? The way they, have it away in that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, like the way that, we have kids and stuff. If it'd be good if what happened was to control it is if man and woman, right, they're born and that, they enjoy their life, they learn a lot, they live to be about 78, I think, by that point.
So specific.
Yeah, 78,
No,
yeah.
but by 78, I reckon you've sort of got to that point where you go, do you know what, I've done everything I'm going to do. If you haven't bungee jumped by the time you're 78, you're not going to do it. No. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Your hips come off.
You've done it all now.
Yeah.
And then you die, right? So say if everyone had that, they live to be 78. But then, just as you die, you have a little baby inside you, and as you die, your life carries on.
Sorry.
How is
are
this
you-
happening?
Sorry, are you mental?
No, but don't you think...
I mean, what? I've never heard such drivel.
You're saying that, but if Newton said it, you'd go, interesting. That's what annoys me.
I
The
love
point
it.
is, Carl, he never would. He'd
What?
never say it. That's the point.
But if you never say it,
I don't understand what you're talking about there. What? How was it? How is there a little baby in a 78-year-old?
No, what I'm saying is it's like an apple where the apple grows and it's got its little baby pips in it, and the apple goes and the seeds are planted and a new one's born.
But that's what happens.
But that is what reproduction is.
Yeah, but I'm saying babies aren't being born left, right, and centre. It's controlled so that as someone dies, someone's born.
But Carl, stop. Whose responsibility is
Look,
this?
if you don't want to do it, we won't do it. But
is it supposed to be nature? Has nature got to develop humans so that we act that way? We live that way? Or is this a scientific experiment?
He said to you then, he said, look, if you don't want to do it, we don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you were up for it, we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We'll have a wit round so we can do the research.
I just think at the end of the day, we've got to do something. And is anyone keeping an eye on this and looking at what we can do next to control the population thing? It does my head in that I've got to live in London for work and what have you. And there's loads of people here. And, forget going out on a Saturday night, it's too busy. And you can't move and they keep... I mean, what annoys me about London
So
is...
your solution is that 78-year-old women have little babies inside them, and as they slip away into death, the little babies... And how is that baby then raised?
Who
Who looks
baby?
after the baby?
Because it's a pretty good system having a baby while you're young enough to look after that baby and make sure it lives to, reproductive age itself.
I mean, that system's been working for years.
Nature's sort of sorted it out. Natural selection and evolution sort of makes that a good model.
But wait a minute, nature. Pop that on hold, because Karl Pilkington's got an idea.
Yeah.
That's what it was, just an idea.
Yeah, well, it was nonsense. But thank you for it.
The worst I mean, it was the ramblings of someone you'd find by themselves in a hospital eating flies.
This is the sort of thing you find when, if they find maybe a pamphlet or a booklet written by a psychopath. Someone, just before they went on a rampage and then turned the gun on themselves, they go through their possessions and they find a book and it's got weird drawings, women with knives in their face, and this kind of
In
garbage.
fact, I saw a similar sort of theory written out on a wall, but it was written in shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, all I'm saying is, I think it's when people die normally, everyone's fed up about it, aren't they, and a bit down. But if when you pass away, you go, oh, we're gonna miss Gladys or whatever. But then there's this new life brought in. It's almost like a bad news.
But
news.
you're talking about it like someone could pick this idea up and run with it. Like you've given them enough information to do it. How is this possible? Where does she get the baby from? Why does it grow? Why grow it in Gladys's belly? Why not have it in a drawer?
But what I'm saying
ready
is-
to go. Just add water. I mean,
Who looks after son of Gladys?
There is no theory here. There's no. It's the ramblings of a madman.
What I'm saying is, though, the body's always changing, innit? From caveman to now or whatever.
In some
changing.
cases.
And they're always finding out more and more. Like I read the other day about how they're saying, do you know, like they say, people have 6 senses.
Yeah.
There's loads more than that. Right, and there's this one.
I say, show me that you've got one.
No, right, and there's this one that's knocking about.
Go on.
That what it is. Say if I'm in a pub, right, and I'm just doing a crossword or whatever.
Unlikely, but go on.
And there's some woman who's walked in, right, and she's staring at me.
Yeah.
I know she's looking at me, and I look up and I look round, she's looking at me.
Right.
And they're saying that's a new sense that they found out from, like, doing tests and what have you.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
And they're saying
okay.
that's been around since like man and dinosaur was knocking about.
They've stopped.
No, they've
because you're-
explained
I think it's safe to assume that, that with your perfectly round head, people are always stopping and
No,
looking.
but they explained
You
it.
just know that there's probably going to be someone there if you look
They
right.
said it's from the time when, like, caveman was, like, wandering about, and he'd go, hang on a minute, and he'd look round, there's a dinosaur there or whatever, and he'd leg it.
This is nonsense.
It's not-
I hate it when people use the term when caveman was wandering around. Caveman and dinosaurs. Oh, they used to live together. Yeah. Oh, that's the same era. Yeah. What have you been watching? Raquel Welch.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean caveman wandering, knocking around with a dinosaur?
You know the Flintstones is only partly based on fact. Dinosaurs and man did not coexist. The dinosaurs had long gone before man arrived. Extinct. kaput. You don't believe us?
What, you don't believe because you've seen...
Because you saw that film where they took pictures of lizards and magnified them and put them next to men in films so they looked like they were fighting.
Yeah.
No, but why couldn't that have happened?
What is the film with Raquel Welch? A Million Years
10
BC.
A million years BC or
A
something.
Million Years BC. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
She had a sort of woolly mammoth bikini. Fact.
why wasn't the dinosaurs back then just like how we have dogs now, in a way?
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's thinking of the Flintstones.
Yeah.
That's what he's
when
thinking.
He puts out the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Dido
And he
when
mixes
in.
his concrete in a pelican.
Yeah. Yeah.